Hello, this is wmpyr here to do a review of the LLC CRMPIT. The CRMPIT stands for Close Range Medium Impact Tool. And, when doing a review on this guy, I have to put this, just a basic Kubotan, right next to it. I feel this is very important because they both have similar functions. As with all the Lapu-Lapu Corto folding knives, in the closed position, it basically acts like this guy, but I think you can see right here that the CRMPIT is just like this, but on steroids. So let's go more into that, right? So this one right here, the Kubotan, is, we all know pretty much that it's designed for self-defense. It's non-lethal. You can see right here that there's a little bit of a tiny spike, a very, very mild spike going on. You could use this end, you could use the flat top right here, and then you could use the whole bar itself. You could apply this like onto bone area on the wrist and stuff, cause some pain, compliance hold, that kind of techniques, right? Let's take a closer look. Right here at the bottom, you can see that this is our striking area, just like we have with the Kubotan, except on this side over here, on this side, you can see this area right here, this catches very, very well. You could use that for getting some control moves on their wrist, on their arm, just all kinds of areas on the body, like the shoulder and stuff like that. And there's teeth going along all right on this side right here, okay? And those teeth, like I say, they grip. So not only could you use this for striking to try to break some glass and stuff in emergency type situations, but on top of that, like I said, this is gripping techniques. On this side over here, it's smooth. It's totally smooth. And I'm assuming the reason why this side's smooth and they didn't make both sides teeth is because you use this side to help you enter in and cut the seatbelt or cord or something like that in emergency type situations. So that's your cord cutter or belt cutter right there. Obviously, that's lacking on a standard Kubotan. And then, of course, the top side right here, this flatter area, this can be used for striking as well as this. But the main difference is the ramp right here. The ramp is ginormous, and this ramp, as you can see, is a completely extra feature. So just having this right here makes this a mini war club. It's obvious that you could hammer with this area, but there's so much more that you can do. For one is you could use this to cause all kinds of leverage. For me, I like to attack the fingers with this area as well. You could use it for trapping limbs, pinning limbs as well. So yeah, and this area right here is not just for hammer strikes, but you could also use it for scraping type strikes as well. But it's not just here and here. With the Kubotan, it's on the top, it's just this area right here, but then we have this as well. This is the collar area, and let me try to lift it up like this. The collar area right here, okay? This digs in big time. They're almost like mini fangs right here because, there's two, right? Down here and up here. There's two areas right there. When you scrape with this, or when you just, stab in with this right here, I mean, there's teeth all along right there. And you could obviously use it for gripping and stuff, but also the amount of pain that you could cause by drilling that in is tremendous. So actually at the very top here, we have three areas, 1, 2, and 3. And then, like I said, down here you got one area for striking and then this area for control. So that, I mean, obvious, you can see that it has a lot more areas compared to the Kubotan alone. That's why it's a Kubotan on steroids. The Kubotan is a great idea, but this takes it, to me, in my opinion, one step or a couple of steps further. And then, of course, we have the pocket clip for a convenient carry. You can attach this to your keys if you want to, just like the Kubotan. Okay, so we can use the ramp just like normal with one hand using your thumb, just like so. But the ramp can also be used for something called the kinetic opening. How to do the kinetic opening? Just think of like the wave, the very popular wave feature, except this is not limited just to your pants pocket. Pretty much anything that you could hook and pull on, it's going to catch right here on the ramp, and you hook and pull and you deploy the blade like so. And you could try it on just about anything. Try to be creative in the ways you do it. You could do it on various parts of yourself, or you could do it onto the opponent or something nearby, like a chair, a tree. Like I said, the imagination is the limit. The sky's the limit there. So once it's out, obviously you can see right here that this thing is shaped like a knife. So because it's shaped like a knife, it's very intuitive. How do you use this? Like a knife in this open position. However, it's not a knife. There is no edge right here. It's not sharp, and there's no sharp point right there. So it's not a knife. It doesn't cut. It doesn't stab, but the motions are going to be the same. You could just imagine that this is like a knife, and there's teeth going along from here all the way and then onto the ramp, and the ramp itself has teeth. So it has teeth going along all of that. The teeth is used for hooking and grabbing on to your assailant to help you enhance your techniques. When you want to move them around for pain compliance holds, like if you do some kind of security, or you're just trying to get this person off of you, right? Definitely the teeth can come in handy. And just slashing with this thing alone, slashing and stabbing like a knife, even though it's not going to pierce the skin, it definitely can cause a severe amount of pain. I mean, this is still thin. It's not a baton where it's like round, even though the usage is, you could also use it like a baton, like a small tactical baton. But look at that. I mean, it's thin right there. So it's not super thin to the point where you're going to be slicing and dicing on paper, or like I said, just cutting through skin like nothing and just making blood gush out all over the place. It's not like that, but like I said, this is still, it's going to wedge into the skin. You drive it in, and I mean, it's going to cause a tremendous amount of pain. Anywhere in the face you could imagine is going to be sensitive to a piece of metal like this being shoved into their face. So whether, you don't even have to make it a strike like a baton. With a baton, you're going to be striking at them. With this, of course, you can strike, but just ramming it in and just applying force directly, a push basically, that becomes extremely uncomfortable. It gives you a tremendous amount of leverage, and you're putting all that force onto this thin so-called blade. So yeah, to me, this is much more impressive than I was expecting. I just pretty much thought that this was going to be, it's like a training knife with more added features, and that's about it. But no, it really is a tool unto itself. After messing around with it, I really see a big difference there. I think it's very, very innovative. And for the people that are not allowed to have knives in certain countries, certain locations and stuff, this may be a really, really good alternative for you, and especially if you do like knives and stuff, you're still having something that's very knife-like. So that's already right up your alley, unless you want to go into something like this, and then it feels, honestly, it does feel pretty different from a knife. So you're going to be like, you're going to feel pretty unsatisfied in that sense, and you're going to miss your knife. But with this, like I said, it's probably the next best thing when you cannot carry a knife. So anyway, that's it for my review. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.